Okay, hello. Welcome to. Uh, I guess this is like maybe the first recap of me using my delivering pizzas in EV. So I currently work at Domino's. I will have more in-depth videos. Like maybe I'll release them. I don't know yet of each paycheck that I got. So I work part time, 3 to 4 days a week, usually 3 days a week, like 20-ish hours. Some days I didn't work, some days I did, etc. Because graduations or some type of event. I had a wedding, not me, but I attended a wedding for one paycheck period. And yeah, this one's just a recap of 6 months. So this is me with an electric car. And I guess up front, after 6 months, the total expenses were at least based off of the Tesla app. Like, for example, I paid the last time I charged was July 25th. Today it's August 10th. So it's hard to say really the exact cost. But I usually don't charge my car like to pay. It's just insurance rate. So that one will, depend on your situation. At least with Teslas in Virginia. Oh yeah, this is done in Northern Virginia. Um, it is very, very, very cheap compared to even driving my Civic that I owned. I paid more in insurance on a Civic that I owned than in a Tesla. So it's quite cumbersome and it makes no sense whatsoever. But I guess that's Tesla. Sorry if I am slightly out of focus, etc. Because I'm using my Minolta 50 1.7. I just like the lens of it because it's just such a quirky but soft lens because it less effort for me to adjust in post. But yeah, this is in no particular order, but let's get to it. The paychecks. One paycheck was 311.2, so $311.20. $229.60. $245.91. $416.53. $307.64. $130.44. $132.75. And $282.30. So yeah, that's pretty much the paycheck. And like I said, I paid almost only insurance. So that alone covers for my. So it's like working 20 hours a week. That alone pays for my car note and insurance, and then extra, a little bit extra. This is just part time, of course. Like you could do Uber and other stuff. I do that on the side, Uber, DoorDash, etc. And it's again, it's not about the how do I say uh, it's just like can it be done? And with today's metrics, it's might be the only way for delivery work because based off of a lot of factors that I've number crunched, if you own a gas car and you did these type of paychecks, you would not be able to survive. Not at all. So, because of the high cost in maintenance and the high cost of gasoline. Like, again, there's a plethora of free charging stations, so you got to take that to your advantage. And even if you do have to pay, the last paid charging station, 25th of July, I paid $2.27. I think that was like 160 miles or something, so like 80% battery. So, and I only did that because I was just like, okay, I might as well, because of, usually I just get the free electricity charge. Takes the day, but what you can't complain on free electricity, right? But yeah, that is pretty much the recap. The only issue is that the high cost in investing into a Tesla. You could have any other EV. I don't know the metrics of other EVs, but you want a slow EV. So I got the slowest and the cheapest 2019 Model 3. So then your insurance rates are so low. And then I don't know how you finance it, but don't be like $0 down financing unless you don't intend to keep the car. I think this as a big investment because that's just how I operate for myself. But if you want to, if you want some sort of freedom, from the traps of money schemes, I think the biggest investment you could create is to invest into an electric vehicle, whether it's Tesla or not. Mode of transportation, your mobility is the highest reason for economic mobility, right? The economics is based off the infrastructure. So if you expand your net and able to capture and to raise funds, this is only talking about transportation related stuff. I'm not talking about other economics, but in terms of the transportation field, oh yeah, I could do Uber. No, this is just food related stuff. So this is like the lowest of the barrel, worst case scenario. You're just driving for food and, food delivery. So pizza delivery to, whatever, Uber and DoorDash food runs. So again, I've done the cost analysis and everything, and if you use a gas power card, it's just not sustainable. And you have to also remember that you still get paid the same whether it's a gas power car, a hybrid, electric car. So that also takes into account. And then electric cars are very resistant against economic downturns and upturns and whatever. Even during an upturn, like, oh, gas prices are still cheaper. Well, the prices of parts and maintenance is the cost, right? The biggest cost of owning a vehicle is the maintenance and the thing after the vehicle, not the initial price of the vehicle. It's the post-purchase of the vehicle. So, yeah, that's after about 6-7 months of paychecks. And this is just me doing it at my own volition. I could be doing other things with this Tesla since it's very capable. But this is just like I said, only do 20 hours a week. So just what I garner. And like I said, this is interesting to me to see, is this sustainable to drive for delivery at very minimum wage? No, it is not. But it is doable. And at least for myself as a morning capable, food is really the biggest cost for me. $13 salad. But it's really good and healthy for you. So that's where I spend my money on. But anyway, thanks for viewing this if you enjoyed it. And maybe I'll release the individual paycheck structure and then really go in depth. But yeah. Tesla out.